Welcome back, everybody, to A Discourse About Gaming, the podcast, episode 5.
Yeah.
I had to think about it for a second.
You looked at it like 10 seconds ago.
I know, I just double-checked, and then I literally just checked it again when I just said that out loud. I was like, okay, wait, hold on. Episode 5. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode where I made multiple issues and errors in recording.
It was, yeah. I mean, besides...
I also said so many times.
Totally.
It frustrated me.
It pissed me off.
I listened to the first 5 minutes and I was like... Get it? You know what I just did?
Oh, yeah.
Just said again. I just said all over again. Yeah, it was just frustrating hearing me say
Well,
constantly.
Yeah, we had some technical issues last week.
Oh, yeah, there was that whole block of silence I forgot to remove.
Yeah. I had to call you out on it.
You texted me a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Saying, there's a chunk of silence you didn't remove. And I responded, okay, let me take a look at it. And of course, it was one where I said, I'll remove this later.
Yeah, and we never did. And we never marked it down. So.
I marked it on the episode. I actually had it chopped out. And I just needed to click on it, delete it, and then drag the files together, and I just forgot.
So it's chopped out, but it...
Because there was a couple things I had to cut out. I forget what they were now, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And my mic issue where it was
because last week we tried, without even saying... I don't think we even mentioned it. We tried recording on 2 separate mics as opposed to just one mic. And it was out of sync for most of it, and I had to manually resync it.
Kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so we're just not going to do that. If we find a better way of recording, we'll do it, but for now... I think, honestly, the only other decent thing is if we had separate mics and we were...
Different rooms.
I don't know, because even then...
Or just facing opposite direction. I don't know.
I don't know why it went out of sync.
Yeah.
That was the main issue, and I don't know how to fix that. So until we can figure out how to fix that, we won't do that. It sounds fine this way.
Yeah. So what's going on with games this week?
So... Normally, we just jump right into the top story, because the last few weeks, there's been some crazy news, Series X reveal, PlayStation 5 reveal, Microsoft buys one of the biggest publishers,
decade news. This is 7 to 10 years type of news.
Yeah. And since we're not, industry insiders, we're not video game news experts, I was thinking we could just jump into sort of just the highlights of the news for the week, and how we feel about them, just sort of the top things.
Sure.
The main news, what's the word? The main story today that was all over Twitter, people mad, people...
This broke today, right?
Yeah, this is today.
Okay.
12:45 p.m. on pushsquare.com right here. Spider-Man creative director speaks out on Peter Parker's new face. So, on the PS5 version of... Okay. Back up. Hold on. So, for some reason, the PlayStation 5 versions of games are not, and we talked about this last week, they're not Xbox's fancy smart delivery, everything just works, everything works. They're different games, completely. Your saves don't cross over.
This isn't...
To the point where Peter Parker's face is different on PS5.
I have a question, Matt.
Okay.
Why?
So, they claim the main reason is because... he looks more like the voice actor.
Oh.
And I think they're going to do, facial capture for the sequel. So going forward, they want him to look like the actor. Kind of like how... Now, see, I think that's totally fair. Kind of how Joel looks a little bit like Troy Baker, in The Last of Us.
An older version.
Ellie looks identical to Ashley Johnson.
Yeah.
But I've seen mocap, Ellie, Abby doesn't look like Laura Bailey.
Yeah.
At all.
No.
So it's kind of I guess the argument was that the bone structure was too different. That was the argument. So it's probably just too difficult to motion capture their face.
This is strange news to me.
It is weird. Yeah, it's so weird.
This is a 2018 game. It released in 2018. It was critically acclaimed and commercially acclaimed.
Yeah.
And I don't remember going into that game thinking, Spider-Man's face is awful. Why am I playing this game?
Yeah, well, I
never even thought twice about his face.
I don't think it's a thing they wanted to fix. I think it was just, let's just change his face now rather than change it in the sequel.
So
I think that's the
logic. I guess it's kind of exciting news actually, because this is telling me that they are in this for the long run. I think they want Spider-Man to be a long-running franchise on the PlayStation, and it's Spider-Man. The rights for Spider-Man are exclusive to PlayStation right now. Sony Sony owns those rights, correct?
Yeah.
So,
well, they own they don't own anything actually. I think Marvel just gives them permission to just publish it.
Them specifically?
Yeah.
Like exclusively?
Yeah. I think they're just like, yeah, you can have it. I don't think there's any really signed deal because Sony. So it's confused. See, most people think that because Sony Pictures owns the Spider-Man film rights.
Yeah.
Remember that whole the whole Marvel Disney fiasco where they were like, no more Spider-Man movies in the MCU, and they figured it out. But that's Sony Pictures. Sony Pictures is completely separate from Sony Entertainment.
Oh.
They're the same name, but completely different people working at companies.
Maybe that's where my confusion is.
Yeah, so Sony Pictures owns Spider-Man's film rights. Sony Entertainment Interactive, whatever it's called, they don't own Spider-Man's publishing rights.
Yeah.
That's how Spider-Man is in, Marvel Ultimate Alliance or whatever.
Which
is why it was even weirder that he was exclusive to PS4 on the Avengers game.
Yeah,
because there's no exclusivity deal. It's just a marketing tactic.
That was kind of gross. When I found out that news,
and I think most people, honestly, just assume, oh, okay, it's Sony's Spider-Man. Spider-Man just owns, or Sony just owns Spider-Man.
Yeah, which is not true.
Which isn't really true. Yeah. I don't really know the whole behind-the-scenes deal regarding
this face swap, or
not just Sony publishing Spider-Man exclusively. I don't really know. But I think Marvel just says, yeah, you can make the game. And I think that's obviously one of the main reasons why Sony bought Insomniac. Yeah. Because now they have... that's a first-party game now. It's not a second-party game anymore.
So they're thinking, we're going to make a Spider-Man 2, a Spider-Man 3, a bunch of Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, they already have the spin-off coming.
They have a spin-off coming. So this is... Yeah, they're the developer, right? They can... In the end, they get to make these decisions, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have to complain about everything, right?
So I have a list here to sort of segue from this conversation about how, old games are going to go on PS5 or how they're going to work. I have this article here from Push Square talking about all the games that are going to be confirmed with free upgrades from PS4 to PS5. And it's a small list. Do you want me to read off all of them? Or?
Yeah, just really quick.
So list. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will have a free... Okay, wait. This is a little... it's like a spreadsheet that shows all the games. And it says what kind of enhancements they have. So, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example, says PS4 HD 30 FPS. PS4 Pro, 4K, 30 FPS. PS5, 4K, 60 FPS. Is that true? I thought it was 30 frames.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Interesting.
It has the save transfer box as well, but most games are blank. It doesn't say whether or not the saves will transfer.
This scares me.
I know. So Dirt 5, Maneater, and Yakuza Like a Dragon say that will not transfer.
Wow.
And then Marvel's Avengers and Miles Morales say it will transfer.
Wait, Miles Morales is a PS4 game?
Yes.
Okay.
You didn't know it was on PS4?
No.
We talked about that 2 weeks ago.
I forgot.
Yeah, I'm probably going to play it on PS4 if I don't get a PS5 on launch day, because why not? It was developed on PS4.
Does it upgrade for free to the PS5?
Yes. Okay. So that's also on this list. It's a free upgrade for PS5. That's weird, right? Because Miles Morales, your saves transfer, but Spider-Man PS4, the original game, they don't. Yeah. But that's not on this list for a free upgrade, so I don't know. That's just not... It might be a free upgrade, but it's not confirmed on this list yet. So, Marvel's Avengers is.
Hold on, Matt. I'm trying to...
I know.
I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So
I know, it's very... Because, on Xbox...
Hold on. There's a fucking spreadsheet for trying to figure this shit out. Why is there a spreadsheet to figure out how to put a PS4 save on a PS5?
Because
this is similar hardware to the Xbox, isn't it? Am I wrong? It's very the hardware side.
The development architecture is it uses the x86 architecture or whatever that every game is used on PCs for a while now.
Why is this a difficult thing to do?
I don't know. I think it's just the way Sony operates. They don't really focus on it, so it's not.
I guess they're sticking to their guns. They want to
of not being consumer friendly.
Of not being consumer friendly. Of saying we're doing. To be fair, they're all about forward thinking.
Overall, it's
new generation, right?
Yeah, overall, it's not going to be
that big of a deal.
But I think it's just annoying.
Okay, this spreadsheet
because
is stressing me out.
If you get an Xbox Series S, the low tier $299 model, you can play everything.
Yeah.
All the saves, everything. Everything transfers over. I mean,
all the games that I'm playing on my Xbox now will play on the Series X.
I played Splinter Cell.
It's that simple.
I've played games that were on the 360, and then I played them on my Xbox One, and my save from back then transferred over somehow, like through the cloud or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's different. Like the cloud storage on 360 is
so what? You probably bought a disc back then, and now it wasn't a disc, or how'd that work?
Well, I forget what it was. I think it was because I had played like Splinter Cell Conviction. My saves transferred over.
Oh.
They were either in the Ubisoft servers, or I had just backed them up in the 360 cloud, because the 360 had cloud storage that you can access now, but I think it's different.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. But it all syncs up now. It's all
Microsoft OneDrive. I mean, is that the cloud?
I don't think that's for like computers and your phone.
Okay,
I don't think that's
not
on Xbox.
What do they have then? Xbox.
It was just the 360 cloud. It had its cloud thingy. You could manually upload your saves.
Either way, we don't have to talk much about the Xbox and save files, because
exactly
everything will work on the Series X.
That's why I'm bringing it up, and it's nice, honestly, that you can just. I mean, people don't appreciate. I mean, people do appreciate it, but people don't appreciate how easy it is on Xbox. When I had an Xbox One, and when I got the One X, I didn't do anything. I didn't transfer anything. Nothing. I just logged in, and it's all there. You log into a brand new Xbox.
Well, you had to download the games,
I had to download the games, but that's it. I didn't have to do anything special.
Wow.
You don't have to transfer anything over.
Your background was there, or
you log in. Your cloud saves are all there. It automatically uploads all your saves to the cloud without even telling you.
So you could jump into the middle of the game that you were just playing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, not like in the middle of the game, but like I have to download the game.
Save file.
You can transfer games between consoles, but it was faster for me to just download the game again off the internet. But the save is all there.
Yeah.
It's so easy. But you don't have to think about it. It's weird that Microsoft now has become
convenience.
Yeah.
That's the next generation is about convenience.
I remember when I first got my Xbox One, the interface was just slow and clunky and annoying. And it's funny how they've kind of done a 180 on...
Turned it completely around.
Yeah. I think the Xbox One, or...
Here we go.
Xbox Series S and X, the new Xbox consoles, I think they have a good chance of selling a lot. I don't know if they'll sell more as It depends. I mean, do they have more to sell? Like, is it going to be hard to find a PS5? If it's going to be hard to find a PS5, their sales might be comparable.
So
I feel like a lot of people are going to switch to Xbox.
I think so. Convenience. One,
Game Pass.
Bethesda.
Two,
one, Game Pass.
Yeah.
The best deal in gaming. Mm-hmm. You got hundreds of games for, $10 a month.
Especially if there's so many gamers in like the 25 to 40 age bracket who are parents.
Yeah.
Who don't have a lot of time to play games.
Don't have a ton of time. Don't have a lot of extendable. So you
can just pay $10 a month and just play whatever the heck they have on there.
Yep.
And now there's a lot.
Yeah. Now you get your sports games, at least the old ones, and then all of EA Play, all of Bethesda, all of first party Xbox.
Probably within the next 6 months, every Bethesda game will be on there.
Yeah.
Fallout 3.
Oh, I can't wait.
New Vegas.
Doom.
The new Vegas DLC.
We'll talk about that later.
The new Vegas DLC.
There's DLC for New Vegas?
DLC for New Vegas. I never played it. I kind of want to go back and play it, yeah.
All right, I have a save file for that, too.
I know, you just played it recently.
Speaking of save files.
I was thinking, I really want to go back and play New Vegas, but I'm thinking, I'm going to wait for the DLC to get put on Game Pass. And then I could just play all of it.
Seriously, this is the thing. You have, going back, you have Game Pass. 2, you have a very cheap entry to the Xbox ecosystem.
Costs as much as a Switch.
The lower, if you really want to get into this, you can pay for a $40, $50 Xbox One controller be able to just play off your Android device.
Oh, with cloud?
With the cloud.
You don't have to have an Xbox?
You just have to have an Xbox account.
Are you serious?
Yes, so you can, as long as you have, if I sold my Xbox One right now, I still had an Android, I just log into my account.
xCloud doesn't stream from your console?
No.
Are you serious?
No.
I didn't know this.
It doesn't.
It's not like Remote Play on PS4?
It's different. If you want,
what's it running on? Their own
servers, yeah. What? So that's what's crazy.
It's Stadia.
Yeah.
It's a better Stadia.
It's a better Stadia. And eventually when they come to iPhone, it's going to be nuts.
Hopefully it comes to iPhone. I did not know... it wasn't remote play.
Yeah, because then you'd have to keep your Xbox on.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Time.
That's
what
PS4
if the power
has.
goes out? I don't know. Like, yeah,
I used to use that on PS4 a little bit with Vita.
The PS4 does that with PS4 remote play.
Yeah, you can do it on your phone now.
Yeah,
your phone and
it's
Vita.
bad.
It's bad.
It is really bad. Now, the things that I've been hearing about xCloud,
it works better on Vita because you have buttons.
Okay,
but it's not good for fast-paced games. I would use it on like
Destiny.
I would play like Persona 5 on Vita because it's
turn-based.
Yeah, that works, but anything else doesn't work.
So I mean, with xCloud, and the reports I'm hearing are, it's phenomenal. Like, it actually works. People are surprised that it's actually working, and as long as you have a decent internet connection, you can stream these games, and they go straight to your phone. And so you potentially can just buy a controller and then sign up for $10 a month Game Pass Ultimate, or $15 for a Game Pass Ultimate, and just play on the cloud. So, but that low, I was also thinking, Matt, the PS5 All Digital Edition is hard to get, right? So
you got it.
I got it because I got exclusive, invite from Sony.
Yeah.
Remember?
People were saying it wasn't that hard to get a pre-order if you just
a pre-order, but as far as they're saying that the PS5 All Digital
it's harder to get.
It's harder to get, and it's manufactured at a lower rate. So
I did see that.
So thinking about that, if there's not enough PS5 All Digitals on the shelves, you're going to see a next-gen console, the PS5, at $499. Then you're going to see the Series S at $299. That's a huge jump. So I could see a bunch of people, especially during this pandemic,
and with this,
people, incomes are tight. Like, some people don't even have incomes, but So that's enticing.
$299.
$299.
That's how much the Switch cost when it came out.
Yeah.
Or it still costs that much, doesn't it? Or is it $199 now?
No, I think it's still $299, and it was like $450 last time I checked because it was in the middle. I couldn't find it, so everyone was marking it up. But
I feel like the Switch Lite was $199.
Switch Lite was a little bit cheaper, maybe $249.
I don't remember.
No, anyways, so all this to say, convenience.
Yeah,
the Xbox is convenient. They're moving forward with this kind of platform of convenience where it's easy, it's understandable. You can jump in and play, and that's what they're kind of going off of. So let's get back to this.
This
spreadsheet.
List. I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
Oh god.
So FIFA 21, Madden 21, and Madden 21 and FIFA 21 will be able to be brought forward to PS5, but once FIFA 22 and Madden 22 comes out, you will not be able to move them over to the new system.
That sounds scummy.
So you'll be able to get the free upgrade, but the free upgrade expires.
What?
Yeah, so that's what's frustrating. What we've been saying, we've been beating this dead horse, is it's an upgrade. It's like another game. It's not just the game with some extra textures that you load in that Xbox does.
Free upgrade. So when it says free upgrade, that's not saying backwards compatibility.
It's not a patch. It's like a different game you're downloading, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a...
It is backwards compatibility, but it's like...
Well, where's the column for these games are backwards compatible?
This is what that means.
Free upgrade means backwards compatible?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No. Backwards compatible means it just runs the game. Free upgrade means it's a PS5 enhanced game.
Okay, like a...
So you'll be able to play all these games with no upgrade. So you'll be able to play Madden 21, forever. As long as the Sony servers are online.
But if you want the upgrade, you got to upgrade it before Madden 22.
Yeah. And I would not be surprised if you could upgrade and have to pay money for it after that. Like $4.99 or whatever. And some of these games, Hitman 3, free upgrade, digital version only. I don't know why. Yeah. Same with the Yakuza is digital only. And then NBA 21 is a free upgrade, but only if you get the Mamba Forever Deluxe Edition. And Control is the same way. Control is only a free upgrade. And I remember this, because this was a big news headline a couple months ago, because they announced this like it was good news. They said you can only get the free PS5 upgrade for Control if you buy the Control Ultimate Edition. It's a new game.
I remember hearing this, and the internet was flipping out.
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense, because you can play Control on PS5.
Yeah.
You can just put your disc in. it'll work.
Yeah.
Backwards compatibility. They said that 90% of PS4 games will work.
Yeah. Just PS4, not PlayStation 3.
Yeah, nothing else, which is
annoying.
A whole other discussion we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on this list of...
It's just that
I just wanted to go over the absurdity of this list.
It is absurd. It is the... If someone said, Josh, can you define absurdity? I would just show them this list. There's no... I don't... Maybe I'm ignorant and I don't understand the back end of the PlayStation 5 or this whatever.
I don't think anybody understands the back end of the PlayStation Network.
Even the...
Remember, it went down for a whole month and a half in 2011.
I mean, cloud saves and all that. I'm not...
Apparently, it doesn't even work that well for people. You have to go in and manually check that your saves are being uploaded to the cloud.
Oh, so before I load up my PS5, I should check to make sure everything's uploaded.
I've just heard a lot of stories of people, their PS4 dies and they get a new one, and then their saves aren't all there. Like, it's not updated. Okay. It doesn't update regularly like the Switch and Xbox do.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's very confusing.
Oh, I love PlayStation. I absolutely love PlayStation, but this is a huge swing and a miss. Yeah. I mean, not even a swing. They didn't even go to bat. I can't believe this.
Before we get into any other big news stories, I guess we could go over... Or do you want to just go through the rest of the news, or do you want to do the Game Pass?
Let's finish the news.
Yeah, we should just finish all the news. So, there was a news story that broke today. I don't know how long you want to talk about this. We can just address it briefly. The Cyberpunk studio head responds to mandatory crunch reports, where CD Projekt Red head of studio Adam Badowski responded to a Bloomberg report about mandatory crunch at the studio, saying the move was one of the hardest decisions I've had to make, but noting that Cyberpunk 2077's developers will be well compensated for every extra hour they put in. And then basically what it boils down to is that they're just crunching on the game.
What is it?
That's it.
Where does it say mandatory? Are they? Is it mandatory overtime?
Okay, let me read Adam Badowski's tweet word for word. These last 6 weeks are our final sprint on a project we've all spent much of our lives on. Something we care for deeply. The majority of the team understands that push, especially in light of the fact that we've just sent the game to certification, and every day brings us visibly closer to shipping a game we want to be proud of. This is one of the hardest decisions I've had to make, but everyone is well compensated for every extra hour they put in. And like in recent years, 10% of the annual profit our company generates in 2020 is split among the team. And then...
That doesn't sound like mandatory overtime.
Well, apparently they're required to work 7 days a week. Oh. Mandatory, yeah. That's not in this news story, but that was reported before. This is responding to the initial reports.
Okay.
So
there was some type of mandate of 7 days. Why not just longer hours? Because you need a day off.
It might have been both. See, it's okay. So what's frustrating for me is because I really think that game developers should have some kind of union.
Yeah.
That just reflects what CD Projekt is doing.
Yeah.
Like where it guarantees profits from the studio go to the people.
Yeah, that 10% is...
Like, just guarantee that for every developer. But also, where it gets hazy is there's a lot of developers who don't want to crunch and they're forced to. You know? But there's a lot of developers who don't care. And they want to crunch and they want to get it done.
Yeah. This is their baby. They've been working on this for years.
It's interesting. It's a nebulous thing because... This was reported by Kotaku, by Jason Schreier, and he's been posting just tons of pro-union articles for the last 2 years now.
Yeah, a couple years.
And it's frustrating because I agree with a lot of his sentiments.
Yeah.
But the way he puts them out there, it's very much like...
Anti-developer.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I've seen a couple where I've disagreed with his phrasing.
Mm-hmm.
I get his sentiment, and I understand what the point he's driving at is people and their livelihood should matter more than getting this damn game out.
Yeah, and it's true. It is true, but at the same time, I don't think the union will be as rigid as everyone will only work 40-hour weeks.
Yeah,
he acts like it's going to be some utopia of. they're still going to be paid overtime, and people are going to take it.
Yeah, so let me give you some perspective on. I was in the union for 7 years.
What union?
I was in the electrical union for Orange County, local 441, and so the way that worked is you have your union wages, which are set by our union reps. Those wages are non-negotiable. So. That means whatever job hires whatever company, they have to pay those wages. Now, anything over 8 hours on a normal work week, anything over 8 hours is time and a half. So 8 to 10. And then it went from, I think, over 10 hours. For a while it was over 12 hours, but I think it's down to over 10 hours now. Anything over 10 hours is double time. Then on Saturdays, it's always time and a half.
Okay.
And guess what? If you work over 8 hours on Saturday, then it's double time. It goes right into double time. And then on Sundays, it was always double time. Any holidays was always double time. So anytime overtime came up, a lot of people looked at it as bonus. Like it looked like bonus money. Mm. So I personally was never a huge fan of extended periods of overtime because your body just can't take that.
Yeah.
Your mind, you're exhausted. Like it's not good for the human body.
Yeah.
For long periods of time. But I did enjoy, it was kind of a fun unifying, like, oh yeah, let's get this job done. Like everyone get together and we're anyone that stayed late, it wasn't mandatory, that mind you. But the weird caveat in the union, and I could see this happening to game unions or game developer unions, where the people that took the overtime got to stay longer on the job.
Oh,
and so when layoff time comes, when the game, like I could see this with game developers,
work really well.
When layoff time comes, you get laid off first if you didn't do the overtime.
Interesting.
So that's how it worked in the electrical union. You would, the majority of people.
There's a lot of contract work in video games.
Yeah,
a lot. Yeah. So it would make sense.
It already is contract work, right?
That was one of the big controversies around Halo Infinite, was that there's just tons of contract work and it's just a mess. So, I mean, that's how most of the Call of Duty games are made. It's Ubisoft.
Yeah.
There's like 1,000 people that work on all these
on one Ubisoft game, one Assassin's Creed.
It's all Ubisoft, but like the way they treat it, it's not just 100 dudes in a building.
I didn't like when Bungie went with a third-party studio for Destiny. I remember they were subcontracting out to remember it's some third party, and I was like, oh no, it's not Bungie, but they did a good job with it, but at least that was containable. It was manageable. Like some games like Ubisoft, or I guess with Halo Infinite, it wasn't manageable and it wasn't productive for the game.
I'm sure the stay-at-home stuff is affecting that.
So what do you think about, having a little bit of insight on unions, what do you think Jason Schreier is getting at?
I don't really disagree with him overall. Okay. I think he has the right push, to push towards unionization in the game developing, that whole sphere of work.
Because of labor. What? Because people get taken advantage of.
Yeah, because people get taken advantage of, and because having like mandatory crunch.
Crunch, they don't usually pay overtime though. A lot of times it's just your same pay, but you just work more hours. It is more money, but they not
probably
guaranteed.
They probably get overtime. If they get 10% of the profits, then
the Cyberpunk developers.
I really doubt CD Projekt Red developers are upset.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really doubt they're upset.
Because this will only be for a couple months until the game's out.
And that's what frustrates me. Because Jason Schreier, he wrote a book called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. And I read it, and it's amazing. Everybody should read his book. It's called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, and it's 10 chapters, and each chapter is a story of a video game. So, like, behind the scenes of Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh.
Like, how they've made that game, Halo Wars. And, like, there's these interesting stories of how these games are made, and that book does a better job of preaching to his union points than all the articles he writes lately, where he's like, oh, all these developers are so sad that they have to work a lot. It's like, I would kill to have their job. Like, are you kidding me? That's what frustrates me, because it's like, I'll work 70-hour weeks to make that kind of money, you know what I mean? And I think the most people read those articles and have that feeling, so he's not really making his point. That's my problem. You know what I mean? He's kind of coming off as
okay.
elitist.
To be fair, though, the Cyberpunk developers, CD Projekt Red, they've come out and been very transparent about we're paying time and a half, right? We're paying overtime, and we're
getting 10% of the profits.
Think about that. What's 10% of millions of dollars spread among how many people are on CD Projekt?
I'm just guessing. I'm guessing.
So this is kind of like a co-op. If you know, like, so my company at Rosenin, we're an employee-owned company, so 100% of our company is owned by the employees.
Oh, they have 1,000 employees. Never mind.
Oh,
that's still okay, that's
still,
a lot, but still.
So that 10% is pretty cool. Like if you get 10% of the profits, that's actually that's giant. So let me put it in perspective. A project manager at my company there's a bonus program, and the bonus structure is usually 3 to 5% of what the job makes, up to $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
So if your job makes, in most of Rosen jobs are millions of dollars. So if your job is doing well and you make a lot of money on the job, then you'll get the full bonus of up to $50,000. So that's with 3 to 5% of what a job makes. Now, CD Projekt Red is promising 10%. That's
divvied among the team.
Yeah, so that's a little bit different. But still, that's very generous, especially if you know Cyberpunk's gonna sell.
Let's say it sells 5 million. Just like a low ball. It's gonna sell more.
Yeah.
But let's just say 5 million. 5 million times $60. That's $300 million.
$300 million. Well, you want to take away some of that for.
Well, that's why I lowballed it.
Okay, lowballed it. Okay, yeah.
5 million in sales. That's a low number.
$300 million.
It's gonna sell 10 million copies, but 5 million copies in sales. I mean, it could sell less than that. I don't know. We'll say 5 million.
No, it's gonna hit 10 million.
Probably.
I think so.
So, especially with people not even. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that game sells. Anyway, $300 million divided by 1,111 employees. That's $270,000 per person.
That's pretty insane.
So if they're making $100,000 bonus,
yeah,
that's low.
That's 270.
I said 270. So I'm just really rounding it all the way down as low as I can possibly round it down.
And they're getting all the overtime pay. So they're
and whatever. I'm sure Poland has better labor laws than we do.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
I don't know. We could look it up, but yeah,
rightfully so. They're getting this bonus. I mean, I think if a company is making this kind of money.
Yeah.
Off the backs of all these people, you know, putting in all the effort to develop these games, they should be compensated.
Yeah.
You know, and so great. That's great for CD Projekt Red. Hold on, Siri is talking back to me. There we go. That's great for that's great for CD Projekt Red coming out and actually saying this. It's kind of unfortunate that they're going to get some flack from this.
I mean, it's the same thing 2 years ago with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, they thought they were saying something cool, like, "Oh, look, we're gonna work really hard to get this game out to you."
Yeah, the creative director was like, "Yeah, we're working 100-hour work weeks," but that's not even possible. You know?
Yeah, is there 100 hours?
They can't do that. You know, it's
you
like
get 3 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah, 100 hours divided by, and I mean, maybe he did.
Yeah,
that's 14 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Ugh.
You know,
yeah,
that's wild.
I've never done that. I've done 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and let me tell you, it is not fun.
Yeah, that's 84 hours.
Yeah, it is not fun. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah.
You become less productive after a certain amount of hours anyways.
Yeah.
And especially after a certain amount of days in a row of working and not getting a day off. There is the argument to be made that this can damage a game.
What do you mean?
So, for instance, when I'm installing electrical devices in a building and I'm running on 5 hours of sleep and I haven't had a day off in 30 days, I'm not going to do very well on that installation.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sloppy. I'm going to miss something. The same thing could be said, I assume, for game development, right? Like, and you're staring at a screen for that long. I can't imagine. You know, at least I'm moving around as an electrician.
That's true, yeah. Just sitting at a desk, looking at a screen 10 inches from your face.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have anything more to add to that?
Yeah. I guess this whole podcast is opinions, right?
Yeah.
I'm totally pro-union in this.
Yeah, no, I am
instance.
too. I don't want people to think I'm not.
Yeah, and
I'm just
obviously some unions can take advantage, and it could become corrupt, but so does the capitalist nature of a lot of structure of companies anyways.
Every corporation.
So you can't sit here and tell me that, unionization of games would be bad for the industry.
Yeah.
No, games are still going to be made because games make money. Mm-hmm. Games are super popular. They're going to make money. Publishers aren't going to just stop publishing games because they unionize. No, at the very least, a publisher that made $400 million off of GTA 5, or they make billions though, huh? So so I don't know. A publisher that is making $5 billion off a game is now making $4 billion. Oh, boo hoo!
Watch Rockstar or Take-Two Interactive. They just buy Microsoft.
Oh god!
Microsoft buys.
People don't understand that the gaming industry makes more than any entertainment industry, right. And I've read that it makes more than music and film combined.
Well, to be fair, Microsoft throwing around $7.5 billion on ZeniMax. They didn't make that money from their games division. They made that from they're just Microsoft.
They could have made it from their games division over time.
Did they? I mean, in the last 4 years,
Microsoft. Well, Halo. I don't know what. No, I guess
doubt
not.
it. I think that's why they're investing this kind of money.
So Microsoft, you could thank Microsoft Excel for selling the Microsoft 360 suite, right? People just buy that still.
365 or whatever.
365, yeah. Do they?
Yeah, of course people buy that.
So, I mean, you could thank that for being able to buy Bethesda.
Yeah, for Game Pass. I mean, you can't. There's no way that Game Pass makes money, right? I don't.
Okay, well, what are the numbers? You got 15 million subscribers now, and you have on average $10 a month, and it's actually more. I mean, I'm paying $15 a month, so
it's 150 million. A month.
150 million dollars a month. How much does it take to keep that? Is that the right word? How much does it? I wonder how much it costs to actually upkeep. But either way, they're adding more value to Game Pass over time, and this generation, you're going to see, a good handful of quality first-party games from Microsoft. We got Avowed coming.
Yeah.
You got the reboot of Forza Motorsport. You got Fable, you have Halo, you have whatever Gears is going to do next. You're going to have a bunch of... Oh, and then Hellblade, which a lot of people slept on, but that game is phenomenal. That's a first-party Microsoft studio that puts out just like first-party PlayStation studios. I mean, the first Hellblade
I need to play Hellblade.
You got to play it. It's a first-party Sony game, but, under Microsoft.
Yeah. You're saying it's better than anything on the Xbox.
Yeah, the quality. I'm talking about quality. Yeah, because there's a difference. Bethesda might not have quality per se, but they have the best games.
They got that jank.
They got that jank, yo.
I just did the math, and if Microsoft didn't have any extra Game Pass subscribers, they just kept that 15 million, they would hit $4 billion in 4 years.
You mean $7 billion?
$7 billion in 4 years.
So in 4 years, if they could keep a steady flow of just 15 million
without even raising it, they're going to raise it.
They're going to raise the price. Yeah.
So in the end, it could be a good investment.
So 4 years, you already pay off the studio acquisition, and that 15 million is going to double in the next year. I firmly believe that can double in the next year.
I mean, that's the thing is that we have 15 million now with a
nothing
console that didn't sell that well.
Yeah, console didn't sell.
And now we're going to have a $299 console.
Yeah, and you
with
got
all these games coming to
EA and Bethesda now on this. This is mass appeal at this point.
And we're just beating the Game Pass dead horse.
We are, dude. We're Microsoft shielded.
I can't wait to play Doom Eternal on Game Pass tomorrow.
Oh, speaking
of which, why don't we just segue right into what's coming to Game Pass this month? So tomorrow there is Doom Eternal, which I'm extremely excited to play.
I'm
so happy I didn't buy
it. I actually never bought the first one because it was on Game Pass. Yeah. So I played the first Doom. Well, Doom 2016.
I played it on Game Pass, and I also played it on Switch.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's fun on Switch. I beat it on Switch.
The frame rate, though, I'm
sure.
Yeah,
it's 30 frames. But I didn't care. It was nice to play it.
So you beat it on Switch?
Yeah. I took it to a trip. Yeah, I took it to Disney World. I beat it on our honeymoon. Okay, actually. Our honeymoon, actually.
That's fun.
Go back to the hotel room, take like an hour nap. I can't play it an hour at a time.
I can't make fun of you because I once took my PS4 all the way to Hawaii just to play Destiny Raid.
The Rise of Iron Raid.
Rise of Iron Raid when it came out. I
still remember that.
I can't make fun of you. My wife was very gracious about.
Was she?
Yeah, allowing me to do that on our vacation.
I'm sure she was very happy about that.
Oh yeah.
The other game coming tomorrow to Game Pass is called Drake Hollow. Huh. And now I actually have a description of this game. Ooh. Drake Hollow is a cooperative action village building game set in The Hollow, a blighted mirror of our world in which players build and defend villages of drakes, the lovable local vegetable folk. Whether solo or with friends, players follow the guidance of a mysterious crow to explore a dynamically generated world of islands trapped in poisonous ether.
Ooh.
And help the drakes restore their camp.
All right.
It kind of sounds like a tower defense game.
But randomly generated.
That's not a great description because I don't know what genre the game is.
What? It says it's a village building game.
Yeah, that's the genre. Village building game.
I didn't know that was a genre.
That's a genre now.
Is that like Farmville, or Stardew Valley? What?
Yeah, a lot of things could be a village building. It's Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's a village building game.
But this says it's randomly generated or procedurally. Is it?
It says build and defend villages of the lovable vegetable folk. So
that's my favorite part.
It's probably a tower defense game.
The last time vegetable folk were lovable was VeggieTales.
Oh, maybe this is a VeggieTales.
Okay, reboot of the whole. All right.
On October 8th, there's 3 games coming. Brutal Legend, which is an old Double Fine game. Have you played Brutal Legend?
No.
It's really fun. It's really weird.
I've heard about it. It's from original Xbox, right?
No, it's on 360 and PS3. It's it's got Jack Black in it. He's the lead role.
What?
Yeah, he plays a roadie, like a rock concert roadie, and he accidentally gets sent to another dimension, into like this dimension of metal music.
Oh.
And he goes into like this weird otherworldly dimension of metal music where you fight monsters in this world, but then there's tons of like metal and rock and roll cameos, like Ozzy Osbourne has a role in it.
What?
Lemmy from Motorhead's in there. There's a bunch of, and there's like a metal soundtrack with like 100 metal songs in it.
That he wrote?
No, that Double Fine put on the song. Okay. That put on the game. It's an open world game. You drive around in this car in this metal world. It's hard to describe. It's just a metal focused world. Like, if you look at like a Megadeth album box art, that's it.
That's it.
That's the game. Yeah, you're running around in that game. And the main combat when you're running around the open world is like hack and slash with a guitar.
Oh.
There are
like Mash Square?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I guess Xbox.
It's not a hack. Okay, so there's 6 or 7 main gameplay sections in the game, main story beats, where it's an RTS.
What?
Yeah. It's a RTS where you still play as like the Jack Black character, but you have wings. So you could like fly over the battlefield and you order your troops around and you build troops and like have to attack.
This game sounds ridiculous.
It's so weird. I've beaten it twice. I like it. Okay. I love this game. It's so weird.
It's the most gamey game I've ever heard of.
It's so bizarre.
Like if you transferred me back to the early 2000s and said this game, was in the making, I'd be super stoked.
A lot of people had a bad reaction to it because the RTS stuff was a surprise. Like the demo for the game didn't have any of that in it. You ran around for an hour and just hit
how long is the RTS?
It's a good chunk of the game. Oh. It's the main gameplay.
Really?
Outside of the open world. The open world is like hack and slash, its own little hack and slash thing, but then you take that hack and slash stuff and you can do that in the RTS stuff.
Huh.
It's super weird. It's the weirdest game ever. Everyone should try it.
Well, it's on Game Pass,
it's on Game Pass. Everybody should try
download it. Yeah.
And then Forza Motorsport 7, Racing Sim, whatever.
Yeah.
Ikenfell is another one. I have a description because I don't know what it is. It's a turn-based turn-based tactical RPG about a group of troublesome magic students.
You know, those troublesome magic students that everyone
Harry
hears
Potter?
about. Yeah.
Use time-based combat mechanics to power your spells and block attacks. Explore the twisted halls of a vast magic school. Oh, it's Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Fight challenging monsters and bosses, find tons of hidden treasure, and uncover dark secrets never meant to be found.
What?
So, it's a tactical RPG, but then you can explore a magic school?
Turn-based. Yeah. So
Yeah, weird.
Cool.
Whatever. Yeah.
Cool.
That's coming. October 8th, those 3 games.
Nice.
Tomorrow is, or if you listen to this on Friday, Doom Eternal and Drake Hollow are already on Game Pass.
Is this all the games for this
That's
week?
it. This October.
For all of October.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing like monthly. I guess, yeah, I forgot. Game Pass usually does a couple games a month.
Yeah, and they spread them out. Sometimes there's more. This month doesn't have a lot, but you have Doom Eternal.
Yeah,
So
Doom Eternal is huge. That's a huge get.
the PlayStation Plus games for this month are Need for Speed Payback and Vampire.
What?
What is Vampire, you ask? Well,
What is Vampire?
let me pull up a description because I totally forgot to do that. Let me look at
Well, what was the other one? Need for Speed? Oh, God. We're looking at a thumbnail right now of a very serious face from a man that looks like Hitman with hair.
It's an action role-playing game. I don't know what this is. Let me find a good description of this game. This is weird. Okay, here we go. Life is Strange developer Don't Nod Entertainment challenges you to embrace the darkness with this 1918 set third-person RPG with deep narrative choices. Play a doctor-turned-vampire ghosting through a London gripped by violent... Wait, what? Play a doctor-turned-vampire ghosting through a London... What?
A London gripped by violence and fear.
Okay, so it's a version of London. That phrasing just broke my brain for some reason. Okay, a 1918 version of London gripped by violence and fear. Use your supernatural abilities as well as man-made tools and weapons to fight or flee the forces of evil and vampire hunters. Save the city's populace or feed on them to become stronger. But giving in to your bloodlust can have grave consequences. This sounds like Prototype a little bit.
Is it new? Or this is just... Is it
2018.
Okay, so it just came out, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean...
So it's not like new to PlayStation.
It came out June 2018 to PlayStation, October 2019 to Switch. Yeah, it's from Don't Nod. They made Life is Strange.
Now, have you ever played Life is Strange?
I have played the first Life is Strange.
Is it a third-person action game?
No. It's a Telltale adventure game.
So what's up with this? It's the same developers, and they're going third-person action? So... And I've heard good things about Life is Strange. Like, people praise it.
The first one is mostly good. I didn't like it's 5 episodes, and I liked the first 3 episodes more than the other 2.
Is that all they've made, is Life is Strange?
They made Life is Strange 1 and 2, and they made that other game that's on Game Pass. Tell Me Why. That's on Game Pass now.
So I heard that one's good, too.
Yeah, that just came out. All 3 episodes.
Is that a story game as well?
It's an adventure game, yeah. And it's gotten decent reviews.
So why?
It's got a 78 on Metacritic. That's decent.
Why the sudden pivot to a third person? I'll download this.
I'm gonna try it.
So if you have PlayStation, this is free on PS Plus. So, I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt to download it. I mean, that looks kind of cool. This little video that I'm watching.
Yeah,
right
I just
now.
pulled up a video of the combat where he's using some vampire abilities.
Yeah, vampire, like he fades in and out of reality. It looks like he just turns. He dashes really quick up to a...
Remember the darkness?
Foe. Oh, yeah!
This is giving me darkness vibes.
The video game from 360 era?
Yeah, from 2007.
And you can use some weird... Yeah, this looks like darkness.
You have, the 2 guns.
Yeah, and can you have, tentacle arms?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so anyways, that vampire third-person action, I don't know how well it's gonna... I've never heard of it before, so it's probably bad.
Like every game you've not heard of.
I've heard of a lot of games, Matt.
That's true.
I listen
that's how I feel when you, Every now and then you'll tell me about a game and it's like, I didn't hear about it, so how good could it be? Moonlighter? I haven't heard of it.
Dude, Moonlighter's good.
I know.
Moonlighter's so good.
I still have it downloaded. I never played it.
Oh my god, that's a good game. Anyways, I don't say this with pride or whatever, but I listen to a lot of gaming podcasts and I follow a lot of gaming influencers on the internet. So if I haven't heard of this, that's pretty surprising.
Well, now you'll hear people talking about it just because it's free.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. There's a handful of games that go on Plus that just get ignored.
Yeah, but Dontnod's a good developer. They've proven to be a good games developer, so maybe this is cool.
It's just a weird game for them.
Yeah. Vampire London. Yeah. Sounds cool. You were telling me about a game before we started recording. An MMO.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so a coworker...
Did we pass over that on
We did, yeah. A coworker mentioned it to me earlier, this game called Genshin Impact. It's a free-to-play, open-world MMO. And it really caught my eye just because, well, my coworker said it was really fun, and then I was looking it up, and I went on Push Square, and they had this quote that said, "We've played a good 12 hours of it, and honestly, you could tell people that this is a full-price release, and they'd probably believe you. The quality on display is not what we've typically come to expect from free-to-play titles."
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm curious to try. I don't know a lot about it, other than...
So we're looking at on Push Square a bunch of, I guess, art. No, that's actually gameplay, huh?
Gameplay, yeah.
So it looks like kind of the art style of Breath of the Wild.
It looks a lot like Breath of the Wild.
Like Zelda Breath of the Wild, kind of mixed with, what's that new one coming out? Immortals, Phoenix Rising?
Oh.
The Gods and Monsters.
They changed the name. Yeah, we never talked about it.
We never talked this dumbest
There's
thing
a game
ever.
called Gods and Monsters. And they had to change their name because the Monster energy drink was upset.
They were like going to sue them for using
they have some
monster.
weird claim on the word monster, which is insane.
That's stupid. So
they changed it to, what did they
change it? Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is the most generic-ass name for a game.
Sounds like a mobile game.
It does.
Yeah.
A mobile game.
But Genshin Impact is on PC, PS4, iOS, and Android.
Oh.
So you can download it on your phone.
I might do that tonight.
PS4, yeah.
Sounds cool.
Check it out. It's getting decent reviews, like I said, so...
And it's so an MMO, massive multiplayer online. The first thing I think about is like World of Warcraft-esque. But I doubt it's to that scale.
Yeah, it's open world.
MMO could be like, I guess...
Yeah, I don't know how heavy the MMO stuff is.
Yeah,
because... Is it like Destiny where it's
Destiny,
single player?
Destiny, you have like, 13, 16 people in a world at once.
Space.
Like a shared world. But this says MMO, which is,
massive
multiplayer online sounds...
Well, it doesn't say MMO on here. It just says...
Free-to-play action role-playing game.
Yeah.
Why did Push Square say MMO?
Did they? What did they say?
Oh.
I guess they didn't. Maybe it was my coworker that said MMO.
Okay, alright.
Might have been
People mistake MMO and RPG. They think it's the same thing, but it's not. Us real gamers know the difference.
It only takes 10 gigs of your hard drive.
Oh. That's a selling point.
Now you gotta download it right away. Interesting. I'm curious to try this.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like there's a lot of like Monster Hunter type monsters. Look at that. There's a giant blue dragon, it looks like. And this sounds right up my alley, honestly, if it's just magic and sword and bow combat. That's cool. I'll try this out. It's free. 10 gigs.
Yeah, it's on mobile too.
Wow, that scares me a little bit, but I want a good taste of it, so I'll probably download it on my PS4 Pro just to get the best experience from it.
Yeah.
Cool, good for them. Genshin, what's it called?
Impact.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
In a game chat that, I'm in with a couple of my buddies, one of my friends sent an article from T3.com, and it's talking about the PS5 game data that is stored. So here's a quote from the article. It says, essentially, Your PS5 game data is stored in a compressed format that Oodle can read and decode as the game loads. And it does that at blistering speeds. But those speeds aren't the only interesting thing we've learned about or from Bloom's blog post. Thanks to the same compression technology, games should take up less space than ever on PS5. And space is a premium as the SSD is only 825 gigabytes. According to the blog post, games that fully utilize Oodle tech, I don't know, I guess that's the tech inside. The games that fully utilize Oodle tech might take up only half the space they would if they weren't compressed. That means you'll be able to store twice as many games on your PS5, end quote. And something that stood out to me was that how storage space is going to work on these next-gen consoles that have less than a terabyte available is kind of scary. And so reading this article, I kind of tried to get some clarification from my friend. He was saying this is like, it's essentially like taking or saving a lossless file. This gets really into the weeds here, but kind of a lossless file of the game.
Okay.
And like uber compressing it for the PS5, and that's how it's stored. So this, I guess this technology stores it compressed.
I've seen some people talk about how the way a hard drive works is you have to, if you have a game and it takes up a certain amount of space on the hard drive, like on the platter, it's stored in a specific way so that it loads as fast as it can. So when you are running through a game and a rock shows up for the game to load in that rock asset is in multiple spots in the game file. Whereas if you made a game that was really optimized for solid state, it could just have that one file on the storage. You know what I mean?
Huh.
It wouldn't have to duplicate itself in weird ways to get it to load faster. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so is this an SSD thing, or is this specific to there? Because the article makes a point that the PlayStation 5, this technology in the PS5 is, PS5's secret weapon against Xbox.
Yeah, it sounds like it's something they'll have to do on a case-by-case basis, though. Because
it would have to be the developer saving it as a lossless compressed file, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I remember lossless music back in the day, downloading the lossless file, like, it sounds better and all that,
They've confirmed that Demon's Souls on PS5 will take 66 gigs.
So that sounds sizable. That sounds just the same as a PS4 game.
Yeah.
About the average PS4, big game.
Miles Morales will be 57 gigs.
Yeah, so
it's not any smaller yet.
Oh,
so I don't know what they have to do.
Okay, so my buddy was also saying this is for future, actual PS5 developed games, which there aren't any yet, right?
Technically, not. I mean,
there's not many.
Demon's Souls.
But it's an old game.
It's a remake. Right? It's a remake. It's a new game.
Yeah,
the original game was probably like 5 gigs.
Yeah,
on PS3. I don't know.
So
it's probably bigger than that.
Anyways, that's just a little tidbit of news at the very end of this. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
We could keep an eye on it and see.
No, I think it probably will go down. I think it's just a matter of how they take advantage of it.
Yeah,
we'll see, because games have only gotten bigger this generation, so hopefully they get smaller next generation.
Yeah, I was really disappointed.
Really ballooned. It's crazy.
I was disappointed when they announced only 1 terabyte on Xbox and in less than that on PlayStation. That almost pissed me off.
What is it, 800?
It's 825 on PlayStation, and you only get like 750-ish.
Oh, you don't get the full 825?
You don't get, because the OS and all that. So
I thought 825 was after the OS.
No, it's before, and so you're looking at 700 something, low 700s, and then on Xbox you're looking at 850 or something, So
just delete and re-download your games a lot.
This gen. I don't really have a big problem with my 1 terabyte Xbox, series or 1S, and then my PlayStation 4 Pro 1 terabyte. Both of them are fine. I delete things, but it's usually, I finished this game weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not going back to it. So, I need more space. I'll just delete it. I usually ride around 75% of my hard drive being full. So
yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. But we'll see. Who knows? Like you said, the games are getting bigger. So.
Yeah. So we'll see if it ever gets... It's honestly, I think what's likely to happen, because games now are anywhere between 40 to 80 gigs, and then you have like the Call of Duty that's freaking 100 plus gigs, or Gears 5 is 100 plus gigs. I think it's possible that games will start getting smaller as they take more advantage of it, but the games are going to get so complex and so... The games are just going to be bigger anyway that we're not going to make that much progress,
Yeah.
It's like God of War 2 will be 40 gigs, whereas it would have been 80 on PS4. I don't know.
So
it's hard to tell.
You're thinking maybe it'll just even out.
Yeah, it's just going to keep being huge anyway because the games are going to get so big and complicated.
So a 50 gig game on PS4,
might still just be 50 gigs.
Might still be 50 gigs on PS5, but it would have been 100 gigs,
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
Do we have any listener questions this week?
No listener questions.
Wow, did you check the email?
Yeah,
okay.
Not recently, but I kind of cried
to
myself. I was like, no listener question. No one likes us. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no listener questions this week. But hey, maybe next week.
You played, so if anyone has a listener question that they want to chime in to our show, they can go to adagamingpod@gmail.com. That's where our social media handles are as well. This week we don't have any. If you don't want us to be sad, you can send us a question. What have you been playing this week?
You want me to start because you completely forgot me last week, so you're having me start?
I remember that.
I've been playing...
I guess I'll go first.
No, I got to get out of here. So, as I've said before on the podcast, I'm kind of preparing for PlayStation 5. So I'm going through all my old, my list of games that I've ever downloaded or bought or for, acquired for free or whatever.
Yeah.
And just kind of looking through them. A lot of them I'm passing up, like, oh, whatever, I don't care about that one. But
like what?
Just like worms and tanks and I don't know. Like, what's that tank game?
World of Tanks?
World of Tanks. Like,
it's a multiplayer game.
Yeah, but I think I only played it for like 10 minutes one time.
Yeah.
And then same with that worm game. I don't know what the worm...
That's also a multiplayer game.
Yeah, so, and then, there's a bunch of like weird offshoots of games. Oh, like This War of Mine or something. Just a bunch of indie games that I kind of passed up on. But basically, I haven't been playing those. I've been passing over those because I wanted to go through the big games that I might have missed on the PlayStation 4 console before I jump over to the PS5. So this week, I've been playing... I forgot I was playing this. Knack.
What? Are you kidding me?
So
this game is a meme at this point.
Yeah, Knack, it was a PS4 launch game.
Yeah.
And it got a lot of crap back in the day. It's a Sony first party studios game, right? So
how does it hold up now?
I dig it.
Really?
I actually
Did you pay for it?
No. No, it was free on PlayStation Plus
a
couple months ago, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I missed that.
Maybe it was last year.
Maybe.
What is time? But basically, this game is a 3D action platformer, and it has the weirdest story. And I think this is why I was surprised by it, because I wasn't expecting... it was about a 10-minute cutscene when I first loaded up the game. Like a full-on CG cutscene. And it's set in this world where there's humans and goblins or orcs. I don't quite remember what they're called, but something like that. But the humans have their big cities and their They're kind of scared of all the orcs, the others, and they are kind of at war with them. But then, I guess the orcs or the goblins get tanks. And the humans are like, what? How'd they get tanks?
You're talking about Knack, right?
Knack, yeah. Okay. So this is why it surprised me. I did not know this was the story. The goblins got tanks, so they are trying to. It's super cheesy, actually. Now that I think about it, but basically the leaders of the humans are like, okay, let's get the best people together, the top scientist and the top 5-star general, and whoever could come up with the best weapon against these tanks wins. So the whole first mission is you and this really like hot-headed army dude that or actually he's there's a couple. There's a bunch of characters. They introduced a bunch of characters in the beginning. I'm getting too far in the weeds in this, but basically Knack is a creation from some crazy scientists that created these things out of these old relics, and the relics can manipulate into different shapes, and that's what Knack kind of does. So the gameplay of Knack is basically you start out small, but as you kill enemies, you kind of get bigger and bigger. You kind of absorb whatever their essence is.
Kirby, I guess?
Kirby, and then eventually you're swinging your arms around.
Oh, you get bigger.
You get bigger and bigger, and you can jump higher and do different moves with your arms. And I don't know. I enjoyed the game because I was so surprised by it. I didn't realize that's what's crazy is as cheesy as it was in the story. It was a entrepreneur, like a really rich entrepreneur, okay. Iron Man-esque, where he built a bunch of robots, and the whole first mission is you're showing that Knack can just beat all these robots. So you're trying to prove to them Knack is better.
All right, well,
it sounds dumb, right?
Now you have to play Knack 2.
Yeah, so Knack 2 is like $5, so I almost picked it up.
I always forget there's a Knack 2.
So, but anyways, the quality, the PlayStation Studios quality is there.
Really?
Like the
I always heard that game was really janky.
The acting is cheesy. It doesn't. The only jank is the camera.
Uh-huh.
The camera feels a little bit weird. Like the camera angles start going off in weird directions, and it's one of those. You go into a room, and you're kind of. You can move around that room to a certain extent, but eventually you get to some weird invisible wall where it switches to the next room, and the whole camera angle switches on you.
All right.
So it's kind of weird. I think that's the jank that people are talking about. But the gameplay's fun. And it was actually hard. It was 2 hits from enemies, and I would have to restart. So.
Wow. All right.
Anyways,
Knack is hard.
Knack is. I mean, maybe I just suck at games, but
I don't know.
Anyways, I was pleasantly surprised by that. It's a fun little one. I'm going to continue to play it a little bit longer. I jumped into. Let me talk about XCOM 2.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just. I think that was a.
How long did you play that?
Like 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
So you didn't play
it. I jumped into it and I wanted to see what it was about. It's not for me. It's just
so good.
It seems cool. If I had the time, I'd probably put some more hours into it.
Did you buy it?
No. So these are a lot of these games are just PlayStation Plus games that I just never played.
I remember that game being on PlayStation Plus. I feel like I would have downloaded it.
I think it was in the very beginning, like
really?
2013, 2014.
Well, the game came out in 2016.
2016, so I guess not. So you must have missed it.
I guess I missed it.
It came out, yeah, it was PS Plus. I couldn't see myself buying this game, so it must have been free. So,
yeah.
Anyways, what is it? An RTS?
No, it's a turn-based, grid-based tactical game.
Tactical game, it's squares. Amazing. There's different squares and stuff that you move your characters to. You have different moves. It seems cool. And there was a full-on story. I didn't realize there was an actual campaign with a bunch of cutscenes and everything.
Yeah, both of them like that.
So then I jumped into the Surge for a little bit, and the Surge is like a Souls-like, kind of a Bloodborne, Dark Souls type game.
And it starts
out. I just downloaded a bunch of games and I jumped into them for like an hour each.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like I was spending a ton of time.
Yeah.
I put my feelers out basically to see what games I might want to invest more time into. So The Surge, it was very interesting in the beginning. You start off as a I guess a disabled person.
What?
You're kind of the camera's behind you on a subway, and you think he's sitting there, but he's actually just in a wheelchair. And then the game starts after this whole like cutscene of someone talking, and then you kind of roll off in a wheelchair. I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, there's not that much representation of people, handicapped people. So that's cool. Like, so you kind of roll off, and the whole point of the game is you get some cybernetic treatment to, be able to walk again. So, but it throws you out into this junkyard, and you have to hit a bunch of flying robots with a steel thing. I don't know. It was kind of dumb. It seems if you're really into Souls, like Dark Souls and those type of games, you might want to check it out. I think it's an indie developer, so it's smaller based. It's probably cheaper. That's The Surge. It's kind of post-apocalyptic. The whole world is
called The Surge, or is it like
The Surge?
Okay.
That's it. Okay. Then another game I just quickly jumped into was Darksiders 3. Now, this game blew my mind.
Really?
I did not know that Darksiders. I thought it was going to be another like turn-based thing.
Turn-based,
or like a MOBA.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't. It was a third-person action-adventure game, kind of like a Soulsborne Light.
Yeah.
Kind of not as hard, but I've heard that it's very hard actually.
Oh, really?
But that game it's about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Demons and all that, but you're basically fighting off the 7 deadly sins, which was a cool story. Like, you're one of the 4 horsemen that are supposed to defend the earth from the 7 deadly sins, but the 7 deadly sins were released on earth, and now humans cease to exist.
It's the third game.
It's the third. Yeah, they did it. It was another one of those like 10-minute cutscenes in the beginning, so I kind of watched it all. And this game I'm coming back to, Darksiders 3.
Really? Yeah, okay.
It was fun to play. There was cool moves. And it's kind of demon-esque, so there's magical powers and whatnot. And the first boss I fought was you had to like do some platforming where you're swinging between different things and different platforms to get up to the boss, and then you gotta like slam the boss to the ground, and then you do damage there. And there was multiple phases of that, and it was actually really cool. Like they seem like they did put a lot of work in these bosses. So Darksiders 3, a demon killing game, it seems cool. I'll definitely go back to. Now, on the Switch.
Oh, I see you play. I'm just looking at your list here.
Yeah, so these are the games I actually put a lot more hours in this week because they are just fun to play. So the first games I listed, those were just, maybe an hour each, maybe 2 hours.
Okay.
Now, I played Rocket League on Switch.
Free to play now.
Free to play.
Yeah.
Because free to play now.
It's the full game, right? There's no restrictions.
You mentioned it last week, and I said I would go into it, and I did. And then, dude, it's fun. It's Rocket League, it's Rocket League. It's 60 frames on the Switch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh.
Now, I didn't get to play a good online session because my internet was throttling or something at the time. So it didn't perform well online. I'll have to try it again when I have better internet. But I played just a bunch of offline matches, and it was really fun. It's Rocket League, and it's free to play.
Plays well with the Joy-Con?
Plays well with the Joy. I played it in handheld mode.
Yeah.
And handheld mode was fun. I mean, it's free to play, so it makes you choose what your main console is going to be going forward with Rocket League. Yeah, I was kind of bummed about that because I didn't have it downloaded on PlayStation, and I wasn't patient enough to go download on PlayStation and make that my main console. Whatever. So I made it my main console on Switch. So I lost, I don't know, whatever I had on PlayStation.
Yeah.
But it's a cool game. It's still in Rocket League is critically acclaimed. Yeah. It's really famous. Anyways, super fun to play on Switch handheld.
Yeah, I'll have to download it.
And the handheld, it's fun. Yeah. The handheld. So the next game I played was Trials Rising. I don't know if anyone's heard about Trials, the Trials series.
Yeah, you mean the bike games?
They're motorcycle. They're 2D side-scrolling motorcycle games. Now that sounds like the most un-Josh game out there.
Was it on Plus at some point? Or no, you're playing on Switch.
I'm playing on Switch, and I bought it for like $5 because I liked the first one, which I played for free on PlayStation.
What was the first one called?
Trials. I don't know.
I remember playing a 360 Trials game that was really fun. It had like local multiplayer, and you were racing each other.
Yeah. So the way it works is it's 2D, 3D, I guess. Side scrolling.
It's like a 2D plane, 3D game.
Yeah, and all the other players can be on other planes behind it, but you're the frontmost.
You're trying to balance the bike.
Yeah, and it's all about it's so precise actually.
Yeah, those games started as a Flash game.
Really?
Like 15 years ago, yeah.
A lot of those were fun. So the mechanics of the game, you're going through a race. You just start at one end and you got to make it to the other end. There's a bunch of jumps in between, a bunch of hills, different obstacles, and you have to balance your bike back and forth, and you have to have throttle control. Mm-hmm. So you can't just hold down the throttle the entire time. You're going to fall and crash. It's one of those cool games where you can just restart instantly. So it has that appeal where you're not waiting for load times every time you crash or anything. Yeah. It's just a quick restart. So I played through a bunch of the quote unquote campaign. It's just I guess it's just you got to get sponsored. The typical motocross game gets play all these different races and get sponsored, and then you choose your sponsor, and then you go to the big leagues. This game's fun. I'm going to play more of it. You guys should check it out. Trials Rising. There is a free-to-play mobile game. Trials Frontier.
I think I had downloaded that at some point. Yeah,
Trials Frontier.
Yeah.
And, dude, that game is fun, too. And it's a perfect game for mobile because it's so simple.
Yeah.
All you have is a throttle and a brake and then a balance, left and right directional pad. So it's a super simple game, and it works great on mobile. And it actually looks better on mobile than the Switch.
What?
Because of my small OLED 4K capable phone.
Yeah.
Looks better than the Switch 720p 30 frames or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
It's funny that my little phone actually performed better.
Your phone probably costs more than the Switch anyway.
Yeah, $800, $900 or whatever.
Yeah.
I have an iPhone.
That's a lot of games.
I have an iPhone X, so I played all the games. I'm missing one game. Last game. Okay. I know, I always go long on these, so I play it because I play a lot of games. But the last game I actually jumped into 2 nights ago, it was either 2 nights ago or last night, I had it downloaded. Mad Max.
Oh, yeah. That was on Games with Gold?
Yeah.
I have it on some library, yeah.
So it's made by the same guy, I think WB.
It's made by Avalanche.
What did they make?
They made Just Cause. Just Cause 2, 3, and 4.
But the combat is very much like a WB game, where it's jump between different bad guys and
oh really? It is
and hit square, and then they'll try to hit you, and you hit triangle to block.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like a shooter.
There is one gun that I've gotten so far, but the controllers are weird for it. You have to hold down L1 and then hit circle to fire.
What the heck?
Yeah, because the game is definitely more about the hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
So the quick L1 to circle is just like an ability more, and it's instant, not instant kill. I guess if you're close enough, but it's more like just an ability. You don't have to aim or anything. It just locks on to the target. But this game is cool. I never actually watched. I think I watched the old Mad Max 80 from the 80s a long time ago.
Yeah.
Never really cared about that movie series. I don't know if anyone else out there did.
You've seen Fury Road?
I've heard it's good.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it though.
It's good.
You've seen it? Okay,
yeah,
so you've seen more Mad Max than I have.
Well, I've seen 2. I've seen Road Warrior and I've seen Fury Road.
Yeah. So this game,
I haven't seen 1 and 3.
This game starts off with this giant. It's another 10-minute cutscene. I guess I played a bunch of cutscene games, but it starts off with this 10 to 12-minute cutscene.
Remember Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers,
Yeah.
and Return of the King back in the day. Those games had a giant cutscene you couldn't skip at the beginning.
Yep.
I'll never forget that. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, so I did not realize how like brutal the Mad Max universe was. It's just not cyberpunk. What's the correct term? Post-apocalyptic, crazy people.
Yeah.
Where there's this, it's a lot of car vehicle combat where people are souping out their vehicles with like spikes on them and whatnot, and then the whole cutscene in the beginning is this big dude comes out on this giant like bulldozer looking thing that has a bunch of spikes and fire coming off of it, and Mad Max like jumps onto it and gets to the top, and they have this epic battle where the big boss like takes out a spear but it has a chainsaw on it instead of a spearhead, and he like turns it on and goes after Mad Max. And then Max somehow gets a hold of that spear and starts chopping into this guy's head, and I'm just sitting there at like 9:30 at night. I'm supposed to go to bed soon, and his head's getting chopped into, and then it cuts to Mad Max. Like it cuts the title screen. I was like, that was epic. And apparently that guy survived somehow with a chainsaw going into his like forehead. Because the whole game is you getting revenge because he stole your car.
Oh, what the heck?
It's the dumbest, but it's a survival-ish game where the health is water. Like to regen health, you got to drink water.
Oh.
You fill your canteen at different things, and then you can drink water from that canteen. It's weird, but I'm gonna play more of this because it was so interesting. And back in the day,
started all these games. It's like, how are you gonna decide which one?
Well, I already know. I'm gonna play around with Knack a little bit more. I probably won't beat it. Darksiders 3, I want to beat. That game looks so cool. Like it seems like all the bosses will be difficult. Mad Max, Trials Rising, that's just a fun game. That's not really a game to beat, but Mad Max, like story game, apparently when it came out, a lot of people said it was like a very underrated game. Because Avalanche did such a good job with the story. The acting is incredible.
Really?
Yeah, there's this guy in it that looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and he's just kind of like, "Yay, man, I'm gonna eat your dog," and then Mad Max is like, "You won't touch my dog."
I like how you're referring to him as Mad Max.
That's just what's his name, Max?
Max.
Well, he's Mad Max at this point. Anyways, there's good acting in that game, and the first couple missions I played were really cool. So I'm gonna jump back into it. If you've slept on this game, maybe you have it sitting in your library like I did. Check it out. That's cool. So that's what I've been playing. What have you been playing, Matt?
Mostly I've been playing Super Mario Galaxy. I have like 4 or 5 stars left. I have 115. Once I get 120, I'll be done with that game. I'll probably go on to Sunshine, but other than that, I mainly just been playing Galaxy because then I can be done with it and then I can play Doom Eternal.
So why'd you go to Galaxy before Sunshine?
Well, I started Sunshine, and I got 15 stars or so into it, and then I was like, man, I just really want to try Galaxy and see how it plays on the Switch, and I just loved it so much I didn't want to stop.
Yeah.
So I just got sucked into Galaxy.
Will you ever go back to Sunshine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sunshine was really fun. I'm going to go back to that. And I'll go back and play Mario 64 on there, too, at some point. But aside from that, I have been playing Among Us quite a bit with Eric and all of his friends.
Is it on PlayStation?
No, it's on mobile, it's on Android, and it's on Steam.
What are you playing it on?
Mobile.
Okay.
I just got the Steam version. It's like $5. But
how does it play on mobile?
It plays great on mobile. It's just you move around with the little analog joystick and then a lot of the little mini games you do. I mean, most people listening to this probably know what Among Us is. It's such a huge meme at this point. It's insane how massive it is. Everybody should go look it up. Everybody should just download it and try it.
It's free to play on mobile, right?
It's free on mobile. It has ads. You could pay to remove the ads, but the ads are minimal. They're not bad at all. Like, you'll beat a game, and then an ad will show up, and you just close the ad. Like,
so it won't be in the middle of a game popping up.
It's basically a free game.
That game is all about timing, right? And
there's no ads during the game at all.
Okay, that's good.
The ads are not intrusive at all.
How do you play with them online on your
just
mobile?
Discord.
Okay, you just use a voice.
You join a room. So when the game came out 2 years ago, nobody played it. And it was very there'd be 50 people playing it at once. 2 weeks ago, they had 1.5 million concurrent players over a weekend. To the point where they had to change. I remember when we were all getting into it like a month ago, we were all playing it. You would join a server, and then you'd tell your friends, okay, here's the server room code. It's DXYH, and you'd input those 4 letters to join the server. That's only 4 letters. There would be duplicate servers with the same combination of letters because there weren't enough combinations to go around. So, like, you join the code, and sometimes it wouldn't work, or you would end up in somebody else's game.
What?
So they had to increase the amount of letters that get put into the server thing. But yeah, it's gotten huge. They had announced 6 months ago, they were like, yo, yeah, we're going to make a sequel to Among Us 2. And then the game has just exploded. They've canceled the sequel. And they're just going to focus on the first game and try to develop it.
That's smart.
Yeah. I know. I was annoyed, too, because the game blew up a month and a half ago. And they came out and said, oh, yeah, it's great that the game is so popular. We're overwhelmed with how amazing it is. We're going to put all this effort into the second game. And now they've backpedaled, and they're like, forget it. We're just... The map we were going to put out in the second game, that's going to be a new map.
Okay, so it's almost... Free. They just want to keep their player base.
Yeah, they want to keep the player... And they're going to improve the game. There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
There's no friends lists. What? There's no... like, you load the game, and it's just local play, online play settings. Huh. That's it. There's no bells and whistles. There's no friends list.
For those of us that don't know what this game is, can you do a quick?
Okay, for people who don't know what it is, it's basically the party game Mafia, where it's not exactly that, but it's based around that. So I think I described it on the show before, but I can't remember. It's you and then up to 9 other people. It can host at 4 to 10 players. Let's say you have 10. That's ideal. You have 10 players playing. And you're running around a environment. The main one is a spaceship. It's kind of like alien themes. And you're running around the spaceship, all of you, and you're trying to complete little mini games. And if you complete all the mini games, you win. But there's 2 imposters who can't do any tasks, and their main goal is to kill everybody. Their main goal is to kill everybody, but nobody knows who the imposters are. So the goal is to, you're walking around and you find a body, you report the body. When you're walking around, it's like a common courtesy, you don't talk to people if you're in voice chat, and you have no ability to type. So when you go into you report a body, it goes into like a little meeting room, and then everybody can type to each other, or that's when you start talking on voice, if you're doing voice chat. And you argue with each other about who you're going to vote off of the ship. So... like, that's when everybody starts screaming at each other, like, I haven't seen this person in 2 minutes. Like, where have they been? That kind of thing. And then, but each map has its own little interesting stuff. Like, there's one that has cameras. So you can have somebody just sitting and watching cameras, like, oh, I just straight up saw somebody kill somebody. That kind of thing. The imposters can also vent through the environment. And only they can do that. They can, like, go underground and, like, sneak around. They have, like, little hidden things.
But if someone catches you doing that...
Yeah, but then that person can lie and say, no, they're faking it. They're covering up. You can just straight up lie your way through.
This game sounds stressful.
It's super fun.
And fun.
What's interesting too, like what you just said, that is when you vote somebody off, everybody has their own preference on how they set up the game, like the game rules, like player speed or whatever. One of the settings you can turn on or off is if it tells you if the person you just kicked off was an imposter or not.
Oh.
So if someone's like, no, I'm not an imposter, I just saw that person kill somebody, and they're like, okay, they vote for him, and then it says so-and-so was not an imposter. Oh. They know that guy was straight up lying.
Oh, then he could be the imposter.
Yeah, then he's the imposter, yeah. So we have that setting turned off whenever we play. So you have no, because you have no idea.
Is it more fun like that?
Yeah, it's way more fun. Huh. And there's the ability to there's certain tasks that people have that actually...
Is that the pure way of playing it, like the hardcore
there's
players?
There's no pure... most people, I've seen a lot of people play it with the confirm ejects on. It's really just preference. Because there's another setting we like having on that people like having off, which is visual tasks, which is certain tasks will actually show in the map that you're doing them. Only a handful. There's like a medbay scan, and there's like the one where you're dumping trash off the ship. So you can say, guys, I'm not the imposter. I have a medbay scan task. Let me go show you, and I'll go do it. Oh. So then you can confront people. And have you seen The Thing? The old movie with Kurt Russell?
Like a long time ago.
Yeah, the horror movie. And it turns into that, basically, where you're like confirming like who is the monster or not. But
no wonder this game blew up.
Yeah, it's huge. No, I had a moment where I was like, yeah, I can go confirm medbay right now. And me and 2 other people follow me there. those two people were imposters, and they just killed me. They killed me right when I went up to do the scan. I had no idea. I didn't realize. So now I'm always like, I need 3 people or more. Like, can't just have 2. But then they could double kill if they're coordinated enough to just do that. But yeah, awesome. It's honestly, there's nothing to it. There's no progression. You don't unlock anything. You win the game, it just goes to a stat counter that you won, you know?
So it's like an old game.
Yeah, it's just a game. You just want to win. That's it.
There's no stats. No.
There is stats. It does keep track of your stats, but that's
like just how many kills
buried in a setting,
How many times you've been imposter.
That's in there, yeah.
Okay.
But who cares? Yeah, it's just a game. Yeah, it's great.
There's no like dances you can buy or like emotes and or is there?
There are skins you can buy for your character. Yeah, and these have been around. They weren't.
Are they like Fall Guys skins? Like
no,
because the little guy that I've seen.
Yeah, he does look Fallout or
Fall Guy.
Fall Guys-esque. Yeah. No, you can buy like the little mini version of yourself that follows you around. People call them the pets. Yeah, just little stuff like that. It's super basic. Cool. Yeah, it's really fun.
You know what? I'm gonna play it tonight. I got some time.
It's fun to play with randos.
I have it downloaded on my phone.
Playing with randos is fun because you just type to them and yeah, it's fun. But other than that, I've also been playing Left 4 Dead 2 as well. Playing that a little bit.
Nice.
Me and my brother and Pierce played that a couple days ago.
Dude.
And yeah.
Does it hold up?
Oh yeah, it really holds up. Really well. I mean, I have
Is it 60 frames?
It's on PC.
Yeah, so it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, you could probably have it running at 120.
I only played these games on
360. So. But yeah, it's great. They just put out a new update that opens
Isn't there a new... sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a new update with a new... It's called The Last Stand campaign.
Isn't it paid DLC?
No, it's free.
What? Okay.
Yeah, it's totally free. And the game's $10 on Steam right now. You can just buy it and have all the DLC.
I think it was like $2 on Steam.
And it comes with everything from the first game, too.
Wait, Left 4 Dead 2 comes with Left 4 Dead 1.
Yeah, in the game. Even though, it's really weird. You can still buy Left 4 Dead 1. Because if you remember, Left 4 Dead 1 was its own game.
Yeah.
And then they added, like, new special infected and a couple other things they added.
Yeah.
You can play the Left 4 Dead 1 campaigns in Left 4 Dead 2. So they have, like, the new special infected and everything. So if you wanted, like, the pure experience, you could play the original game. But... who cares?
That's kind of what I wanted with Destiny 2, is have some of Destiny
all there.
1. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that one day.
All the Left 4 Dead 1 campaigns are in there, and all the Left 4 Dead 2 campaigns, and then the 2 community-made DLC ones. The newest one that just came out is based off of a survival map from the first game.
Ooh.
Like one of the wave defense things.
Yeah. Wasn't there a motel or something that we always defended?
Yes, we played that a lot. They added... all the survival maps from the first game, they added all of those in, and they added some new ones based around different locations in the second game.
I have a Mac.
You could probably run it.
It's a brand new 2019, Mac.
Yeah.
And I looked at the specs, and it looks like it could run a lot of games.
It came out in 2009, so...
As long as Steam allows me to buy a Mac version of it, I think I can play it. But again... I've actually never played a game on this Mac.
Yeah, so I don't know. You'd have to look at the...
I'm assuming I can take my PS4 or my Xbox controller and just Bluetooth it to my
Maybe. Because it does have full controller support.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's on Windows and Mac. Yeah.
Yeah. How much is it right now?
It's $10.
Oh, wasn't it down to like $2?
It was $2. Yeah, that sale ended on Monday.
Oh, why didn't I should have just jumped on it.
But yeah, it's only $10. Yeah, here's the
specs. 2 gigs. Yeah, I think I'm at.
You probably do because this is really like dual core processor. There's no way you have worse than that.
I have something.
It really just comes down to the graphics chip in there, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a Mac. They're all pretty standardized. I doubt it's weaker than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really fun. It's Left 4 Dead. The mods are really fun. We love playing this Helm's Deep mod.
Ooh.
Yeah, where you play
Lord of the Rings.
you play on the wall of Helm's Deep, and it's like segmented. You remember how in the survival mode of Left 4 Dead, you get the bronze medal at 4 minutes, silver medal at 7 minutes. So like at the 4-minute mark, that's when the middle of the wall blows up.
Oh,
like
nice.
in the movie, you have to like fall back to that spot. Yeah, it's fan made.
Oh,
it's so good. And then like eventually it leads up to the top of Helm's Deep. You go through the entire castle.
Oh wow,
it's really good.
Okay,
it's so much fun.
Can I? Yeah, if I buy it, Yeah, I'm gonna have to join up with you guys.
There's all sorts of cool fan-made mod stuff, and they're all like Valve approved. You literally just go to the Steam store and just download mods from the Steam store.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, really easy now. It used to be a little more complicated, but it's really easy now. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much more else to say, but Left 4 Dead is great. Mods are fun. There's Among Us mods for it already. Yeah. Where you can like replace the med kits with the little Among Us dude, the little spaceman. Pretty funny. But I don't know. Is there anything else you wanted to add this week?
No,
wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap this up. I thought there wasn't much to talk about, but I guess.
Yeah, I know we found. I mean, there was some. Later. We spent a lot of time ranting about the PS4, PS5 transition.
Yeah, I could go on about that.
You could just ramble about that forever.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Xbox Smart Delivery.
Yep.
How it should be done.
I like all consoles. Xbox is
all consoles matter.
All console, God. Xbox is doing a better job as far as the
the communication
and
the synergy.
Yeah. Yep. Anyways, let's wrap this up.
Anyways, thank you everybody for listening. Hope you tune in next week. I hope there's no technical issues with the episode. You would already know.
Yeah, this has been a Discourse About Gaming. Thanks, guys.
Farewell, everybody.
Bye.